It is great to have you back here at CoinSuri's channel. For the past 3 years, this topic has truly captivated me, I must admit. It has been 3 years and 1 day since the SEC sued Ripple on December 22, 2020. Not long after the SEC sued Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larsen separately 3 years ago, it became clear that the SEC had particular settlement conditions in mind for all 3 parties. It would have been much easier to avoid this whole disaster if everyone had just agreed on certain ground rules. We were therefore informed of that. Having said that, we had no idea what those words meant before now. We can now identify them. In any case, I thought those terms were completely unreasonable and intolerable. In all likelihood, they were. Those actions clearly harmed Ripple or XRP holders and were quite unfair. In addition, I can assure you that if Ripple had its enormous war chest, essentially more wealth than God, and the guts to fight back against the scumbags at the SEC following their lawsuit, the settlement terms would have irreparably damaged the financial situation of us XRP investors. If those awful people had triumphed, XRP would technically still exist today. But I'm talking about the here and now, specifically about what the future holds for holders in the US. American holders, in my view, would not have been able to fully recover. What shape that could take is anybody's guess. Before we go into the specifics, though, I want to make one thing very clear: I am not receiving any form of financial assistance. Please do not take my advice on your finances seriously. So, you'd be wise not to let my advice influence your financial decisions, would you? I am merely an enthusiast that enjoys making videos on YouTube about Bitcoin for fun and as a hobby. Last night, the SEC targeted XRP holders in a lawsuit that Ripple filed 3 years ago. It was the anniversary of the lawsuit last night, in the evening. Finally, when Stuart gets around to asking, "How did you inform everyone about this madness happening behind the scenes?" Your point is that XRP holders, particularly in the US, would have suffered greatly as a result of the subsequent lawsuit. This is why I am so appreciative of Ripple. It goes without saying that the value of XRP plummeted. It's perplexing that numerous developers have left the XRP ledger in the past few years, robbing innumerable others who might have benefited from investing in the cryptocurrency if they had stayed. Consequently, the XRP price remains artificially low as a result of all of this. Yielding to the SEC's demands might have made the situation much worse for Ripple. This is already written by Stuart, so I'm just going to post it. As one would expect from their chief legal officer and in-house attorney, this is Ripple's. 3 years ago today, he wrote about the time before the SEC sued Ripple, Chris, and Brett. We were offered, or more accurately, ordered, the following settlement. Participants in the market would have a certain amount of time to comply following the SEC's announcement that XRP is a security. For 2 reasons: first, XRP is not a security, and second, the SEC has never set up a crypto compliance framework, therefore we had to reject it. No matter what Clayton Hinman-Ginza or anybody else says about it now, the main point has always been to prove that XRP is not a security. For us, it was all or nothing. Nobody thought we had a chance of winning. Regardless, we managed to get it done. The US industrial sector was able to survive because we exposed the SEC for what it really is, a hypocrite tyrant. Up until 2024, we shall keep going. That concludes it, everyone. I am completely unsurprised. Basically, this is what it is. Some personal notions about what it could look like have been floating about in my head for a while now. For a number of reasons, I was worried this would kill off XRP in its US-specific form. And it appears that my worst fears were realized. As a result, American XRP holders would have suffered irreparable and total loss, leaving the United States of America once again. There was previously a clear legal framework for XRP. The issue of how people will be discouraged from building because of the overall aura of secrecy around the subject is another consideration. You can't always be sure. I mean it literally. The United States, on the other hand, would have ruined it. My uncertainty stems from the possibility that Rippling gave their approval. I would like to know your occupation. Once the SEC says it, Ripple's quickly counters with, no, that's not right. Can you imagine it? We would have suffered permanent harm and the repercussions would have been disastrous. James Murphy, an attorney who appeared on X as Metal Lawman, has made a triumphant return with a brand new post. I wanted to let you know that after being wrongly suspended from X, he ended up writing a letter to the CEO and others. I aired it on my channel back then. He only recently had his account reinstated because it was an error. Anyway, he became rather irate with the steward and voiced his displeasure that few executives or businesses possess the intestinal fortitude to decline providing lunch funds to the bully. This is made far more obvious when the attacker is the government of the most powerful nation in the world, namely the United States. Well done, Stuart. Finally, Brad and Chris get some much-deserved praise. It was delightfully vindicated, I must admit. Surprisingly, many lawyers, including both general practitioners and securities law experts, felt Ripple was in a vulnerable position. The fact that it originated from the SEC made it easy to find that type of study, regardless of their stance on XRP's status as a security. This wraps things up. My takeaway is that it could represent a pessimistic outlook for certain individuals. You benefited from a new viewpoint thanks to attorney John DT, who has been involved in this discussion. Now I get it. He practices law. His career path shifted 3 years ago, and now he's a securities attorney. That was definitely not his strong suit. Now he's looking at things differently and declares, no, everyone. The SEC is not going to win this thing. In contrast to the securities attorneys who had been in the field for decades, Tim, in my view, brought a fresh point of view to the table. A subsequent statement from attorney Bill Morgan simply said, wait, you mean, the SEC wanted Ripple to capitulate in order to create the moments and events that would make the entire market concede that cryptocurrencies are securities and be bowed into complying? Without a doubt. Just for a second, picture a world where Ripple had acknowledged that. All their subsequent litigation against creators of competing cryptocurrencies would have made reference to it. And that would have been a huge deal, causing waves that our company could be proud of. To what exactly are you alluding? It was bullied instead of offered Brad and Chris the easy way out, so it may have been. Not long ago, the SEC dropped all charges against Brad and Chris because they were baseless and never would have been. It was plainly bullying to try to force them to give in. Their lack of cooperation was unfortunate. The SEC would then have acted in an unpleasant manner. Here you can find attorney John Deaton's remarks delivered on the 3rd anniversary of the lawsuit's filing. Today, 3 years ago, Jay Clayton and Gary Gensler crossed paths. Clayton asserted that all XRP tokens are securities the very next day when he filed the SEC versus Ripple case. With his resignation, Clayton began the most significant non-fraud enforcement action in the SEC's modern history, beginning in 1946. The XRP case was addressed the night before by Gensler and Clayton. Only an innocent person could dispute this. I agree that the lawyer was not totally accurate in his evaluation. We obviously discussed it. But how excited Gensler was about the filing remains a mystery. But Clayton clearly wanted it done. Oh my goodness! No way in hell would he have wanted to step things up a level. But it seems like Clinton is solely focused on making sure that happens. On the last day, he managed to do all of this when he was actually present. So now I'm wondering if he was just more hesitant to say when it happened or if he really wanted to make sure it was for the proper reasons. He proceeded to do it thereafter. He handled it personally, I see. Having said that, it is great to start a fresh bull season earlier than expected, especially because we haven't experienced it in 3 years. Now that the legal position of XRP has been addressed, the XRP community is more excited than anyone was 3 years ago about this Christmas. Countless reasons exist for one to be joyful. So, that's the end. The fact that they made this public is fantastic in my opinion. I'm sure many of you are curious about the same thing. Everyone here knew about the settlement offer. What was the amount proposed for the settlement? I want to make it clear right off the bat that I am not a financial advisor. I am not qualified to provide you advice on what to buy. That is the end of the video. I wish you all a good time. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye for now.